Hello and welcome to Wednesday Debate Live with Taglit Hussein here on RTV International. Tonight we'll be speaking more about the role of the radio and also the media in general in shaping opinions, as we all know that mass media in general have a considerable impact on the individuals and also on the society. The people rely actually on the media as a source of information. It's informing in the first place. Furthermore, it's also a very powerful weapon that can quickly change people's perspective about many issues. And because of its unique ability in reaching out to the audience, radio is considered a very important mass communication media. The cool thing about radio is that it is still relevant and it is still important, despite the technology revolution and digitization and all what is happening. However, radio still has its place in people's hearts. We can't do without radio. Radio is still with us in every sense of the word. Tonight, actually, I have a very distinctive character, and I have with me a man who is known to be the man of all talents, let me say. He is an icon when we speak about media personalities. We have lots of memories. Who does not ever, recognize this well-known journalist who has worked for several years in radio and also in television? We learned from him more about presenting news bulletins in English and also youth programs related to health and related to behavior. Allow me to welcome my distinctive guest, the man of all talents tonight, exclusively live on Wednesday Debate, Dr. Ibrahim Kerdany. Thank you so much for coming.
Farid, I don't know what to say. If I was fair, I would be blushing. Thank you. Really,
Thank you so much, and we're really happy to have you with us.
You started off very, very nicely with a very nice introduction, and media is really instrumental in shaping people's lives.
Yes, definitely.
And radio? Radio, we still love you. Always,
yes,
always.
Yes.
It was our start. Actually, it was my start.
Yeah.
So before I went on to television, I started off with radio.
Yes.
And it was the European program here in Maspero. And I remember that so vividly because I was dying. I came from Alexandria and I kept trying to come to this building. I would walk on the corniche looking at the building. Will I ever be able to come into Maspero? And my dream came true.
Yes, it is, and not only a dream, but a reality, because you really left an impact on the viewers. You are still always on our minds and in our hearts. Doctor, he has definitely a very distinguished media icon who had also joined the World Health Organization, Dr. Kerdany, as a regional media advisor and the official spokesperson for years. And being an official spokesperson requires communication skills, requires different talents as well in addressing the audience and also in the sense of awareness, isn't it?
True, and it was a rough time during that time. Bird flu was hitting the world. Yeah. I remember that distinctly. And at one point, I remember I was at my home and I found 17 different cameras at the door. And they were all wanting information. You need to give them the correct information that
Yes.
WHO was issuing. And I remember, you had to go in, change your tie quickly, and wear another one, so it would seem that it was different times,
Yes,
for people who are watching different locations.
Interviews, yeah.
But it was a very exciting time with WHO. It gave me the chance to go and see Afghanistan, Pakistan, when there was the earthquake there, and of course my heart goes out to all those in Turkey and Syria and Lebanon for what happened. I know what devastation is because I saw it with my own eyes before. And I recalled the 1992 earthquake when it happened here and how we reacted. So it brought back memories which were rough, but I really would like to encourage people to be helpful to all these organizations who are trying to help those who are afflicted. And of course, like we say, media is changing. It used to be television.
Yes.
Only radio and television.
Yes.
And now, social media.
Yes, social media is powerful. However, a very respectable message also on behalf of the radio and TV Nile TV International, the voice of Egypt to the whole world. I'm really very proud of the message that Nile TV transmits today on solid grounds, reaching out to the people, to the other, in their own language.
Tahrid, my dreams for Nile TV is that it should be given so much support because it needs to address the whole world all the time. We speak Arabic amongst ourselves, but if we want to address the whole world, it's through Nile TV. And I'm with you heart and soul that all the support needed, we should garner it.
Yes, definitely, and all support to my dear colleagues for the important message that they disseminate and for the hard work as well. Dr. Kerdany, when we talk about radio, well, lots and lots of memories. You started in a very exciting way. I really can't wait for that interview. I'm very excited. Talking about the memories while you were walking at the Corniche and wanted to come by the Spear Room. The radio, what does it mean to you? Very important occasion while we are celebrating the World Radio Day.
Absolutely. I think I walked in, they gave me a test, voice test, and nobody spoke to me for about 2 weeks. And I was at home, you know, walking back and forth. They didn't like my voice. They won't use me. And then I got a phone call from Tariq Sharara. I remember it, the late Tariq Sharara. He was one of the icons of the European program. And he told me, Ibrahim, they didn't like your voice to present the news, but I liked your voice very much and I want to use you to act. So I started off as an actor, believe it or not, an actor on radio. And we did a lot of shows. One of them was one with Hala Hashish and Mirvat Al-Afas and Ahmed Fawzi, The Diminishing Wife, it was called. The story was very, very nice. How did it go? It was lovely. You know, it was a husband who was trying to make his wife go mad. And every day I would chop a piece of the bed. And she would think she's growing taller and taller until I made her go crazy. It was a mystery. And House of Mystery was the name of the program. And after that, actually it was Hala Hashish who told me, Ahmed Fawzi is leaving and would you apply for television? But at the same time, radio, I was doing a breakfast show. And the breakfast show on television, I'm sure I'd like to say hello to all the people I worked with on the breakfast show. Amongst them, Mirvat Al-Afas, Maha Tawfiq, Basma Habib, who else? Khadija Shahid. I don't want to forget anybody, actually. They all
of them brilliant names who had really left an impact on the profession.
And of course, there was Raouf Hafiz as well. I mustn't forget him. A lot of people we worked with on the radio. This was on the European program. But who of us growing up in Egypt can forget Ala Nasya, Amal Fahmi?
Of course.
That was a program.
Our icon, Amal Fahmi.
Who can forget Ines Gohar, Dunya Hiya Shabba.
The sweet voice and very powerful one.
Very powerful. So many people on radio that you remember with fondness, with love. They taught us a lot. And I think radio helped so much when you moved to television.
Definitely. You have the basic foundation.
And there's nothing like being on the radio on a live program. And you get a phone call from somebody who is driving the car. I'm with you now. You know, it's very exciting. Very exciting. Very exciting.
And lots of fans, you know, throughout the whole years. And this is the power of media. This is the power of radio. This is this sense of attachment with the viewers and with the audience that is remaining up to the present moment.
Wonderful. And of course there were people like Fuad al-Muhandis giving his daily program. There was the song of Bis-Salama, Ya Habibi Bis-Salama, I'll never forget. You know, these songs to make you drive carefully as you drive in the morning. I remember it recollecting when I'm going to school, this song would ring in my ears, you know, before you go to drive carefully, to do all that. Actually, radio was teaching us a lot of things. It was very informative, really. And Abla Fadila, with all her motherly voice and telling us what to do.
Careful, keenness.
I really loved radio. And of course, it passed Tahrir through many phases.
Of course.
It was the be-all and end-all in the 60s and even 70s. 50s, 60s, 70s. And then when television started taking over, there was a sort of a shift. Of course, you remember the European program, Huna al-Qahira, when it first started. And you had the voice of the Arabs, Sawt al-Arab, you had Barnamij Aam, you had for young people Izaat al-Sharq al-Awsat, you had Shabab wal-Riyada. And then later on, when they tried to compete with television, they came back with Izaat al-Aghani.
Yeah.
Izaat al-Quran al-Kareem.
And all came timely with a different beat, with a different identity, however,
yes.
with a very powerful message.
Wonderful messages. And for me, I'm in the car, I have to have on all the time, and when I'm home 24 hours a day, is Izaat al-Aghani. I love the old songs.
Yes.
And
Of course, and we can never forget the impact of soft power in your life.
Yeah,
and the connection with the Shahrura, with the Sabuha. Your favorite.
My favorite singer of all time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I know more about that.
You know that very well. You know, Talit, I would never even go to my exams. I was faculty of medicine and I had to study all these things, and I had to listen to the radio in the morning. If I would listen to Sabah, I'm sure the day was going to be
the day is going to be bright.
Yes, exactly. Like her.
Yes, of course. She had usually that sense of optimism in her voice, and she gives hope. And this is very important, to start the day with something, with a good vibe, a positive vibe that brings about hope. The radio is definitely a medium that has sustained its usage over time. It is a platform for not only providing information, but also educating people. And this is very important, this sense of this message of education, allowing expression across cultures. And of course, playing our favorite music, as Dr. Ibrahim was talking. How is radio changing across the globe and sustaining this message over time?
I think it's still growing quite strongly. I think people love radio everywhere around the world. I really think so. I think radio will remain, because radio is a different kind of media. I mean, you could listen to it while you're driving, anywhere, and you can have your pick of what you want. And the variety is a lot. If you want foreign music, you have all types you can follow if you like. And through the stages, how we've seen Tom Jones, Engelbert Humperdinck, Elvis Presley, the Beatles, Madonna, all these people along the years have
inspired
and been part of our lives. I love the Air Supply, especially also as a group. I mean, these were groups. I think songs play a very important part in our lives. And politically, they were used as well. They made us love our country. I mean, at a certain point, Ya Habibti Ya Masr, my love for Egypt, Ya Aghla Ismi Fil Wujud Ya Masr, all these things. Our generation were very affected by the patriotic songs. They made us very attached to our country. I remember most of my friends at a certain point thought of immigration. I traveled, I did my studies abroad. I lived abroad, but I could never immigrate. If I heard a song that had, the passion for Egypt, I would just be dying to come back to be in Egypt. Yes, and I never regretted it.
Yes, always Tahya, long live Egypt. Well, let us know more about the enlightenment role of the radio through this report, and we'll be back for this fruitful discussion with our media icon, Dr. Ibrahim Kerdany. I can't wait. It's a beautiful
listen together.
time. Thank you. Yeah, let's watch together.
In 2011, at the 36th session of UNESCO's General Conference, February 13th was proclaimed as World Radio Day. This date was chosen by UNESCO's Director General as it was the anniversary of the United Nations International Broadcasting Service, which was created on February 13, 1946. The objectives of World Radio Day are principally to raise awareness among the public and the media regarding the importance of radio, also to encourage decision makers to establish and provide access to information through radio, as well as to enhance networking and international cooperation among broadcasters. Radio is a powerful medium for celebrating humanity in all its diversity and constitutes a platform for various topics. At the global level, radio remains the most widely consumed medium. This unique ability to reach out the widest audience means that radio can shape a society's experience of diversity standing as an arena for all voices to speak out, as well as be represented and heard. Radio stations serve diverse communities, offering a wide variety of programs, viewpoints, and content, reflecting the diversity of audiences in their organizations and operations. Every year, UNESCO offers radio stations copyright-free material and suggests some ideas that radio stations could include following the annual themes decided by the WRD committee, such as special radio shows and audios, open house, broadcast exchanges, and increased listener interaction, among others. No doubt that the radio continues to be one of the most trusted and used media in the world, according to different international reports. The radio has been with humanity longer than any other kind of broadcast media. That means more people have access to it than most other technologies. Each year on World Radio Day, experts in the field join together to figure out how to reach isolated communities. World Radio Day makes sure everybody, no matter how central or remote, has access to information.
World Radio Day, proclaimed in 2011 by the member states of UNESCO and adopted by the United Nations General Assembly in 2012 as an international day. February 13 became World Radio Day. Radio is a powerful medium for celebrating humanity in all its diversity and constitutes a platform for democratic discourse. At the global level, radio remains the most widely consumed medium. This unique ability to reach out the widest audience means radio can shape a society's experience of diversity, stand as an arena for all voices to speak out, be represented and heard.
Still celebrating World Radio Day with our icon tonight, Dr. Ibrahim Kerdany. Dr. Ibrahim, digitization and in a way or another, definitely it has changed the whole world, changing also the medium of information. How radio has been affected by the social media, in your opinion, and how powerful it is today?
I think the social media, actually, it gives you the different age groups in a way. I mean, television and radio, it's mainly, I won't say the older, but the more mature people who love them. Now, social media has taken over. And even among social media, you find Facebook, a certain age group. Instagram is slightly younger. TikTok is the younger. And these kids have become so good at, editing, putting things together. And the fast pace has become very important. Yeah. The half minute, the minute, the 2 minutes. How to make a minute meaningful.
Right.
And that has become a major challenge. Actually, I started this new Facebook page and I'm learning like a child. Every day, these young people I'm working with, it's a certain company, they're youth. And I'm very proud to say I'm learning from the youth. I'm learning a lot. I used to teach in the Faculty of Mass Communication and dealing with young people. They think they're learning from me, but believe me, I'm learning from them. To keep along with what's happening. Things are moving so fast in the media, so fast that if we want to keep up, we have to have more young people in. And all I'm saying, everything has its place. Even radio within the social media is there. Everything is there. They use everything together. Yes. And it's become so fast. I'm sure you know young people too, Tagreed, and you see how they do it. I mean, in every home, a mother or father will give the phone to her son or daughter and think, can you do this for me? Can you fix this for me?
Exactly, yeah.
So we are learning from the younger
They're really
generation.
clever.
They grow up knowing everything.
Yes.
They grow up with that. So I don't know. I think we need to keep up with the changes, and we need to keep our love for the origin.
Yeah.
Because the origin, these young people, I try to bridge the gap. I tell them,
Keep their identity.
keep your identity. Learn. Without your history, you are nothing. You know,
Yes,
you
sure.
have to. You have to know how things have become what they are today. I mean, who would have believed in the year 2000 was the first time we were exposed to satellite channels. I remember I was
Yes.
in London attending a meeting just before the year 2000, and they were telling us, you will be able to switch the channels to whatever you want. You will be able to get any part of the world.
Yeah,
We thought they were mad.
and
Look, it happened overnight. And you had before, like I would say, Channel 1, Channel 2, Channel 3 in Egypt. And if you were on Channel 1, you had 70 million spectators overnight, right away. Now it's very difficult to get that many people.
Yeah.
With the best program on television or whatever program on the radio, you could never get so many spectators to be watching you at the same time. So with that knowledge that things are changing, you have to be able to
adapt.
maneuver and adapt and know how to work along with what's happening.
Yes, working along with what's happening, what does it take? And I know that this word radio, the 5-letter word, has changed lives. Among them, your life, Dr.
Absolutely,
Kerdany.
absolutely.
So how can we be able to be up with the beat and keep pace with what is happening?
I would always say listen. Listen to your children, listen to your grandchildren, learn from them. Just the way they learn from you. They observe you all the time. They see how you react and learn. I mean, one of the icons of radio, I mean, she's a superstar on cinema and we all remember her, is Lubna Abdelaziz.
Of course.
I mean, I can't believe Auntie Lulu has been on since my youth and she's still presenting it until now. Chapeau. I mean, she's kept with the times and yet kept her own identity presenting Auntie Lulu. And I think that's something very admirable, something to congratulate her for, really.
Definitely, very well recognized. Well, Nile TV International had also all the honor to conduct an exclusive with Auntie Lulu.
How did it go? I missed it. I'm going to go on YouTube and get it out.
It was, believe it or not, on Valentine's.
Ooh, this Valentine?
No, not this Valentine, last
well,
Valentine.
Happy Valentine to everybody. We'll just,
definitely.
to you too.
We just kept it up, yeah. And she did narrate lovely memories with, of course, the iconic Abdel Halim and those days. Those were the days, my friend. Yeah.
We thought they'd never end. Miriam Hopkins.
Exactly. Well, Dr. Kerdany, radio and the different themes, education, of course, and information, informing the audience, educating them is on top of the list. The theme chosen this year is radio and peace. That really comes timely. Very significant.
How much we need it. The whole world is turbulent. It's upside down. The things that are happening all over the world, and what we needed more now is like man-made disasters as well, besides the human-made disasters that people are fighting all over. And also I would like to add, when you said peace, Tagreed, inner peace for ourselves.
Yeah.
How do you achieve your own inner peace, accept the changes that are happening, as painful as they can be? For me, radio and music have always played an important part to bring me out of my depressions.
Yes, definitely it is, and that's why we say that they are our best friends, you know, going throughout the way. As I mentioned in the introduction, Dr. Kerdany has been for years one of the most familiar faces on the TV, for the TV viewers as well as for radio listeners, presenting the English News Bulletin. And that was on Egyptian State TV, very famous for that. Also English learning programs, and those were aimed at secondary school, right?
Yes.
Why secondary school specifically?
Because It was the most difficult year, the final year of secondary school,
the
where you
ثانوية
go, ثانوية عامة, where you go to university.
Yeah.
I don't know if our foreign listeners would know that there is a nationwide exam, and it's like a civic process in Egypt. The ones who get the highest grades go to either medicine or engineering or media. And so it's like very scary for any student because they have to study very hard to be able to get to these colleges. And I always felt that English was like an impediment. I had gone to Aswan once, and I saw this. I went into a home. It was a boy called Hassan. He was living in a village with his grandfather and grandmother. I will never forget it. They were so poor. They had nothing. As I walked in, and then I saw the English book lying there for ثانوية عامة. And he was going to have to study it. I said to myself, look at this boy. He's out there in the boonies. Young people who are still not very wealthy in Cairo, in Alexandria, they still, if they were driving around the streets, they would see big, signs in English, something that keeps them connected.
Yeah.
But I thought I wanted to reach these people. And I started with Egyptian television, this program of ثانوية عامة. And somehow or other it lasted for a good 10 years or
It
so.
was a smash hit,
I couldn't believe it. It was Fouad Nihad, who used to read the news with me, who was doing it. He told me, Ibrahim, I'm leaving for Saudi. Would you please take it over? I told him, I'm not a teacher, I'm a doctor. He said, but listen, people like your program, youth like your program, Egyptian Panorama. So why don't you try?
You can easily reach them.
And it worked like magic. It worked like magic. I don't know how. And so now, on YouTube, on
You're
Facebook,
back
I'm doing
this important mission.
this year's Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. I'm doing that for the kids again. I'm trying to simplify it for them. And the feedback from you all is, thank you. It's amazing, really.
It's always amazing, and I guess it brings about, those positive vibes and everlasting, we as presenters, when we are on the show and we're giving credit, definitely it means the whole world.
It's like God
Yes,
is telling you,
exactly.
please go on. It's like a very, very nice feeling. Thank you.
Yes, and memories with presenting the news, because we would love to also share with our viewers, whether on the radio or the TV, this sense of feeling. We have two anchors tonight on the show.
That was very true. That was very interesting. The news on television was very interesting because, the English news, we used to edit it ourselves.
Yes.
And then you had to go out and read it.
We did the same, as Nile TV was launched.
Yes.
It was the golden days of Nile TV.
And you had such a short period, to edit. The montage was not easy at all to learn, as well as translate. So it was a learning process that was very interesting. I remember one day I was looking at reading the news very confidently, and then suddenly he said, now finally, ladies and gentlemen, I look at tomorrow's weather. And I look up, and there's nothing. Nothing is on there. What would you do, Tahrir?
Self-restraint.
What would you do? What would you do? They forgot to put it up on the monitor.
We'll be back shortly.
I said, no major changes expected in the weather tomorrow.
What if major?
Alhamdulillah, there was nothing. I passed.
It happens, yeah. Yes, that's why we would say that for the presenters, of course, it's very important to have this sense of being able to
quickly deal
on the spot
with things like that.
Also for translators and simultaneous interpreters.
And of course, I remember, and I give credit to Raouf Hafiz for teaching us that actually while we were editing, the pronunciation of the names, it's very important.
Very important.
Some things like, Russian names were very difficult for us. And he would call the embassy and ask and do this. He taught us to follow up on that.
Names
to
of
make
soccer
sure
international players.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's not easy. So I think the news was instrumental in teaching us discipline, because to be on air at 8 o'clock sharp, I was working with UNICEF at the time, a full-time job, and to come back from UNICEF and sit and edit the news, and it was really, really tough. But I think it taught me And I wish all young people would learn that time is the element. How you manage your time is very important. How you give appropriate timing to everything in your life. To prioritize. You can do a lot of things. People always say, no, صاحب بالين كذاب, that you shouldn't do more than one thing. No, I think you can.
You can wear more than one hat and be successful.
I think so. I think so. I think...
Especially that they go harmonious. I mean, I don't find that they are like in isolated islands. Still,
although in my case, some things were very different. Like, you know, I'm a medical doctor, psychiatry, public health. I did, I'm a professor in the university. I did...
Has it helped? Did this help?
Absolutely.
In what way? As a presenter, I mean, if I'm a medical doctor, how would that help me?
Not as a medical doctor, but having studied mental health very well.
Ah, okay. In dealing with the people?
Dealing with the people, understanding the needs, trying to always absorb what the audience might want and try and say it in a manner that would be attractive to them. It's not easy.
Appealing.
But it's...
How to be appealing.
Exactly. It hasn't been easy, but it's been very insightful and it has helped me a lot with a lot of things.
Yes, the man of all talents.
That was a nice title you put there, but it's in many ways...
That's really you, and well, from discussions, sports updates, great music, a very important and effective medium also for marketing, the radio, of course, and marketing Egypt globally. Radio and TV definitely have this important message.
Absolutely, and here again, Tahrir, that's why I'm saying Nile TV, our European program, they should be given stronger emitting forces, you know, to get to everywhere. Because people don't just speak Arabic. You have to reach them in English. English, whether we like it or not, has become the #1 international language. And with it, you can reach anywhere. All our computers are in English. Everything is in English. Young people who want to advance in life have to learn the language. But I always say, never forget your Arabic.
Of course.
Never.
Yeah.
It's your language, proud of it, it should
and
come
we're
first.
really proud of it.
Yes. But learn English, learn how to use the computer, learn all your social skills, all those new social media skills, because this way you will advance. You will find jobs that will pay you better.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. And this is also another challenge, how to prepare the youth today for the labor market.
Absolutely.
In a competitive way.
My heart goes out to them.
In a way that would satisfy the market needs.
Absolutely, and their own needs, and then to understand that, please, we used to be 27 million, now we are over 100 million. We have to put into consideration that whatever we are doing to grow our roads, our cities, our everything, if you have more than 2 kids, you're causing problems for everybody else.
Yes, the advisor here came out.
Yes, I can't help it.
Yes, the overpopulation challenge.
It's a major challenge. I think it's Egypt's major challenge. If we manage to curb the population for a number of years, we might be able. You know, it's very simple if you explain it. Egypt has no more than 8 million acres that are able to be cultivated. So you have a loaf of bread. If you're 2 people, you'll divide it in 2.
Yeah.
If you are 4 people, it'll be in 4. If you're more, you'll just have a teeny weeny bit. And that's what Egypt's production, whatever you do, is like. So please, don't compare China, don't compare India. It's a different story. It's a different story. Find out how much you really have and use it to the best.
Yes, definitely. The president warned more than once.
Absolutely,
the repercussions of the overpopulation challenge. He also warned against the 4th generation of wars. And this is another story, because it's very important that media people, we media personalities, would be disseminating, of course, the right information.
Thank you for that, Tahrir. I really think that media people should be very well trained to give all the messages indirectly. You know, people accept that more than if you tell them, don't do this, do this.
And don't please tell the audience more about your opinion.
Yes, to a very large extent. I mean, as much as possible. But, you know, we can also use the media in general. Our soap operas during Ramadan are a wonderful medium to present all the messages we need to give. Love, family, family values, being together. I wish people would go back to having meals together. It doesn't exist anymore.
Going to the opera house together.
At least, wow, that would be wonderful. That would be wonderful. But you know, having a meal once a day, all the family sits around the table, brings them together. It's important, at least once a week.
Yes, very important message here, because you know, sometimes the members of the family would like sit all in one room, and everyone like keeps attached texting on his
I've been
cell.
making fun of people, but I'm afraid I've been doing it myself recently.
So they are actually not having this,
Exactly.
this sense of attachment. The view and the link between digitization and broadcasting. Broadcasting, of course, the radio is great, but broadcasting as well complements this important message. The presenter on the radio, through his voice, can disseminate a message as a very strong tool. However, we as presenters, we are lucky enough to have more than one edition here.
Yes.
So how is that?
But you know, I mean, your voice on radio is the most important thing.
Of course.
Your voice is everything. How you express
powerful
it.
tool.
How you
Expresses.
how you grab people's attention by your voice.
Yeah.
Of course, here, like the ladies have to go to the hairdresser before they appear, the makeup, how they dress, what jewelry to wear, all these things, because you have both there. On the digital media, I'm learning a lot. You actually direct yourself. You edit yourself. You have your own voiceovers. I did something on my beloved Sabah, for example, or her life. I started getting, you know, extracts from her songs and putting them in my words. So I've been putting, like, you make a 7-minute film about her life, and everything is there. Quickly, you have all, you know, her movies, the pictures of the movies.
The legendary Shahrura was.
This is just an example. I mean, I love equally, actually, of course, Kulthum, Abdul Halim, Warda, Shadia, Faiza Ahmed is one of my favorites. So, Nagat, all these people have left a mark on our lives.
Yes, memories also.
Memories.
Every song.
And like I say, every generation. I mean, Midhat Saleh, Ali Al-Haggar, now Angham I love, Shireen I love. You know, you have to go along with what's happening.
Yes.
And I tell people, if you like music, you like every type of music.
Yeah.
You will find passion, love. It's an expression of oneself, music. So
Definitely, yeah.
it'll get you out of your depressions, believe me, try.
Yes, definitely. It can also help you for a break. Can we say that digitization of the radio is promoting this sense of a greater competition?
It's also reaching a lot of people through that. Diversity, and it's reaching a lot of people through that. So, so the reach is there. The programs, the more, the merrier, as they say, if you have the choice. Some are informative, some are just for entertainment. So there's everything there. The plate is full, and it's your choice.
If you're to choose again for presenting one of the radio shows, what would be the idea today?
For a radio show?
In 2023, in your opinion? Is it something?
It's a very difficult, very difficult, very
Is it something
difficult.
co-relevant to Kerdany as a media advisor for
mental health,
world
maybe.
And mental health organization?
I would like to help people with whatever I say, but I want to say it in a very light capsule, always with a lot of fun and joy, and just small capsules. And I think I, as a morning person, like the breakfast show.
The sunny smile did play a role in transcending barriers, do you think so? It added to the talents?
From what I'm receiving from the public, it seems to have done something, but
It's great always, you know, always smile, because this brings positivity in the air.
So.
And
with whatever pain you may have,
oh, definitely.
you should still smile at people.
Yes. As mentioned, Dr. Kerdany worked as a regional media advisor and official spokesperson at WHO, and in addition to working as head of health and nutrition, and this is a very important part of it
Health
for
and
the
nutrition
UNICEF.
was in UNICEF.
For
yes.
UNICEF, for UNICEF Egypt.
Yes.
So the role media plays also in like disseminating a sense of awareness. Awareness is very important.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, with health and nutrition, especially when we were in UNICEF, I'm very happy and proud to have been part of the team that made every child immunized in Egypt against all diseases. And I was there when poliomyelitis was eradicated from Egypt. I went to Asyut myself and filmed the last boy in Egypt who had poliomyelitis. So it's with joy that I think of all that. It's important how the media, we always used to make sure the media is there to disseminate information like that to everybody. Of course, we've all been through COVID and we've seen what the media has done. Here, I think it was very debatable. Media was very contradictory at times, and they were telling us to use this vaccine, no this vaccine, no this vaccine. It became a war between all the vaccine companies, producing companies in the world, and you didn't know where the truth lies. So I think back in the old days when we had one transmission from like our radio or our channel 1 or channel 2, it was the source of information that we all followed.
Yeah.
But now the opinions vary so much. You have to have media literacy. You have to be able to see between the lines and know what this is meaning. Why is this message being given? Even if he's trying to inform me of something.
This
What's
is very important.
behind it?
Media literacy is a magical word.
Yeah. But how to teach people that and not to go blindly after everything.
Not to share
think.
everything that like passes by.
Exactly. I like a friend of mine, the singer Tarub, you know, she always sends me like health messages to ask my opinion. But she always says, should I believe that? Should I believe that? So it's nice, I like it when people stop and think.
Yes, stop and think. It seems that we are about to end the show. I don't want this show to end actually, because I really enjoyed it to
So
max.
did I. Thanks to you, Tanda. Thank you for thinking.
Media icon, Dr. Ibrahim Kerdany, who had definitely his imprint, and how vivid and energetic this show went in your gracious presence.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ibrahim, for coming to Wednesday Debate Live.
Thank you.
Celebrating
World Radio Day.
World Radio Day, which is, I know, very much close to your heart.
True.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I thank you, dear viewers, for joining us. I'm Taghreed Hussein. Many thanks for watching.